roughly 2 weeks in, and it has already been an exciting 2019 for MLB fans. We've seen stars like Manny Machado and Bryce Harper debut for their new teams. Trout signed the largest contract in professional sports history, and will make nearly $430 million over the next 12 years. The Seattle Mariners are putting up video game numbers on offense, while the Boston Red Sox pitching staff is giving up video game numbers to opposing offenses. There has also been a wave of young stars signing team-friendly extensions, none more so than Ozzie Albies' mind-boggling 7-year, $35 million extension with the Atlanta Braves. That's quite a lot squeezed into less than a month of action, and there's still another 6 months of MLB fun to look forward to. Despite the fact that some teams would prefer to lose 100 games than win 75 as they rebuild and look 5 years down the road, each MLB squad still has one player that can clearly be tabbed as the main attraction. Some teams obviously have more than one star, while some teams' best player would struggle to find a starting role on a contender. That being said, all 30 players named in this post have a good chance to land on the All-Star team in July. Phoenix, Arizona, April 9, Zack Greinke. Photo by Jennifer Stewart, Getty Images, Arizona Diamondbacks. Zack Greinke. The Arizona Diamondbacks are in a transition phase from contending for a playoff spot in the National League to entering a full-blown rebuild. They pulled the trigger on trading franchise icon and perennial MVP candidate Paul Goldschmidt over the offseason, but still have several players left on the roster from the 2017 team that won 93 games and the NL wildcard game. Arizona remained in contention last season until September, but fell apart with an 8-19 record down the stretch. Diamondbacks went all in when they signed right-hander Zack Greinke to what was, at the time, the richest contract in MLB history on an annual basis. The 35-year-old 6-year, $206.5 million deal is an albatross now for Arizona, but he has actually pitched very well in 2 of his first 3 seasons with the Diamondbacks. Greinke is 46-26 with a 3.63 ERA in 93 starts for the Diamondbacks and was an All-Star in 2017 and 2018. He also finished 4th in the 2017 NL Cy Young vote and has added 3 more Gold Gloves to his growing career total. To top it off, he has hit .224, .258, .306 with 2 homers, 16 RBI and 4 stolen bases, which is incredible offensive production for a pitcher in this day and age. Obviously the Diamondbacks would love to find a taker and unload at least some of Greinke's remaining money, but it's hard to knock his performance. Page 2 Atlanta, Georgia, April 6, Freddie Freeman. Photo by Logan Reilly, Getty Images. The title of best player on the Atlanta Braves roster won't belong to Freddie Freeman for much longer, but the first baseman still holds on to the top spot while Ronald Acuna and Ozzie Albies fully establish themselves as generational superstars. At 29, Freeman is the veteran star for the Baby Braves, and he has emerged as one of the best pure hitters in the league despite his lower profile. As solid as Freeman was after arriving in the big leagues at 20 years old, he has been phenomenal over the past 3 seasons. He hit .285, .366, .466 with 104 homers and 424 RBI from 2010 to 2015 and was named an All-Star in 2013 and 2014. Power has come the last 3 seasons, and Freeman is now a threat for 30 homers and 40 doubles a season. Since 2016, he has hit .307, .399, .549 with a per 162 average of 46 doubles, 32 home runs and 96 RBI. His production could continue to spike as the Braves lineup matures around him. Freeman is an all-around great ball player, as evidenced by his Gold Glove win in 2018 and career-high 10 stolen bases. Despite not being quite as buzzy as the likes of Manny Machado, Bryce Harper, and Kris Bryant, Freeman has been right up there in terms of production with MLB's biggest superstars. It is an exciting time for the young Braves, and their lineup, led by Freeman, will continue putting up runs in bunches night after night. Now the veteran of the bunch, Freeman's star will only continue to grow as he hits in the middle of a championship-caliber lineup. Page 3 Baltimore, MD, April 6, Jonathan Villar. Photo by Mitchell Layton, Getty Images. It's slim pickings in terms of best player on the Baltimore Orioles as the franchise begins a deep in total rebuild. All-stars Manny Machado, Adam Jones, Jonathan Scope, Zach Britton, Darren O'Day and Brad Brach have all moved on to bigger and better things. That leaves a skeleton crew of misfits and prospects to muddle along until the next championship window opens in Baltimore. The best of the bunch is shortstop for second baseman Jonathan Villar, who is the team's likely representative in this year's All-Star game. The 27-year-old came over last July when the team traded Scope to the Milwaukee Brewers. He is one of the league's fastest players, and the new-look Orioles might actually let him run wild as they try and cobble together wins. Villar is a career .258, .325, .397 hitter, but he has some pop to go along with those wheels. Last year, he hit 14 home runs and stole 35 bases while being thrown out only 5 times. As far as the rest of the roster goes, Trey Mancini, Michael Givens and Dylan Bundy are all worth watching for Orioles fans. Mancini has been tearing the cover off the ball in the early going and looks visibly slimmed down. There's 30-homer potential for the outfielder, first baseman. Givens has one of the more intriguing arms in baseball, and can run his fastball up to 97 miles per hour from his sidearm delivery. When Givens is on, he is impossible to hit. Bundy might never blossom into the ace the Orioles thought they were getting, but his starts are still worth tuning in for. Orioles fans might be better off finding a way to stream the organization's minor league games and getting excited about the future. Page 4 Boston, MA, April 11, Mookie Betts. Photo by Billy Weiss, Boston Red Sox, Getty Images. The Boston Red Sox are obviously loaded with talent up and down their roster. This is typical of defending World Series champions. Martinez, Andrew Benintendi, Sander Bogaerts and Jackie Bradley Jr. in the lineup. Chris Sale, David Price and Rick Porcello pack plenty of star power into this starting rotation. The best of the best, however, is indisputably reigning AL MVP Mookie Betts. With the exception of Mike Trout, there is not a more complete player in the league today than Betts. He hits for average, draws plenty of walks, doesn't strike out, steals bases, plays Gold Glove defense in right field with an ability to slide over to center in a pinch and is an outstanding presence on and off the field. Betts just doesn't seem real, and he's one of the most likable players to come along in years. Betts is a .302, .369, .516 hitter with 111 home runs, 393 RBI and 110 stolen bases. Last season, he hit .346, .438, .640 with 32 home runs, 80 RBI and 30 stolen bases in only 136 games. He also drew 81 walks against only 91 strikeouts. Betts has grown into a threat to drop the rare 40-40 season. There will be more MVP awards in the future for the Red Sox superstar, especially as he will continue to hit square in the middle of one of the best modern lineups ever assembled. Sit back and enjoy it as he battles Trout for the MVP every year for the rest of their primes. Page 5 Use your arrows to browse Milwaukee, Wisconsin, April 7, Chris Bryant. Photo by Dylan Buell, Getty Images. MLB careers don't get off to much better starts than the first 2 years of Chris Bryant's tenure with the Chicago Cubs. He was the 2015 NL Rookie of the Year and helped propel the Cubs to the NLCS. Bryant followed that up by hitting .292, .385, .554 with 39 home runs and 102 RBI to win the 2016 NL MVP. More importantly, the Cubs finally ended their long World Series drought. Bryant set an extremely high standard for himself the first 2 years of his career, which has made his last 2 seasons look somewhat underwhelming. Despite a drop in his counting numbers, Bryant's 2017 campaign was nearly on par with his MVP season based on advanced metrics. He battled injuries all of 2018, and it dragged his line down to .272, .374, .460 with 13 homers and 52 RBI in 102 games. The Cubs are off to a miserable start in 2019, and Bryant needs help from many of the other 2016 World Series heroes to carry a lineup that has not looked quite as unstoppable in the 2 seasons that followed their title. Javi Baez has also emerged as another MVP candidate, but Kyle Schwarber has not been able to live up to the hype that made him a folk hero in Chicago. For the Cubs to keep pace with the Milwaukee Brewers in the NL Central this year, Bryant must be back at his MVP levels. He is the heart of the lineup, and a bounce-back season would push the Cubs right back to the top of the list of contenders in the National League. Use your arrows to browse.